Okay. Hello, guys. Oh my god, it's been a while. Actually, no, I just did one of these last week, right? My perception of time is like extremely off. I think I did one of these last week, but I could be wrong. Anyways, let's get started. So, yeah, the topic of choices today is something I've actually wanted to talk about for a while. It's because basically, if you think about it, when it comes to corporations in VTubing, it's been a shit show since last year. Like, not just, actually, around the end of last year, so much stuff started coming out, and it's been going on since. And it's just like, what the hell is going on? Okay, just hold on. I need to spray this on, and I can't talk while I do that. I don't want toner in my mouth. Okay. Right, so as I was saying, it's been a shit show. And kind of brings you to this point, like, corporations aren't your friend, especially VTuber corporations. Most of the time, the people running them don't know what the fuck they're doing. And let me explain what I mean by that. So if you go to Twitter, you're going to have these accounts dedicated to reporting on VTuber auditions, and that's where you find out about any auditions taking place in this sphere, whether it be for like big VTuber corporations like Niji-Sanji or Hololive, or if it's like a corporation that's just started and they're looking for members for their very first wave. And I feel like a lot of people who are aspiring to be VTubers see these auditions and kind of just go for it. They're just like, oh, this is where I start. I should audition. This is where I start. This is how I get my foot into the door. Because let's be honest, being an indie is not easy at all, because you basically have to do everything by yourself and you're an indie VTuber. But the thing is, a lot of these new corporations don't even know what the fuck they're doing. which might sound weird and actually pretty mean, but it's also like, if you've been following any VTuber related news, you will notice it's pretty true as well, because so many companies have just crashed and burned, and so much has been exposed that it's pretty obvious. Like, a lot of these people don't know what they're doing. See, I'm gonna give you an example from something that's not related to VTubing. So if you look at the market right now, not just VTubing wise, but just the general market, a lot of people are going towards startups. Like, professionally speaking, I am a writer, content writer basically. I mean, I don't know if this is news or not, but I think I've spoken about it before as well. So yeah, professionally I'm a content writer. So there are a lot of content writing agencies now. All of them are startups. All of them are being run by people who are pretty young, that are literally in their 20s. Like, people who just got out of business school and decided that, okay, I want to start a startup. I want to have my own company. I want to be a damn CEO. But to be a CEO, you need a business plan. You need to know exactly how to find success. And the thing is, sometimes people just don't know that. Like, I have worked in startups, and like, one of my experiences with one of the CEOs was a person who pretended to be very nice, but was in fact, oh god, that stinks. Yeah, but was in fact very egotistical. What do I mean by that? Basically, it's somebody who's not willing to take any kind of criticism towards anything. Like, they always think that what they are doing and how they've been doing things is right. So they're not willing to listen to anybody. Even if to your face they'll be like, oh, thank you so much for your feedback. We'll definitely take it into consideration and we'll work on it. We want you to have a good experience with this. They don't really give a fuck about it. And you'll see that with a lot of new corporations as well. I think everybody knows about it at this point, but take Arkeo Air as an example. That CEO didn't know jack shit about what he was doing. They had, when the company started out though, like even I was pretty intrigued. I even saw the audition thing. I didn't apply, but I saw it and I was like, okay, this seems pretty good. Like they seem to have a very good idea. It seems very professional. And they had everything, right? They had a proper website. They were doing VTuber auditions. They also were planning to start a talent academy. Like, which was like, wow, okay. Because previously I'd only heard of talent academies for Niji Sanji, and they were all Japan based. So obviously that was like very surprising. But the way that whole thing crashed and burned, and everything that basically happened was the CEO's fault, because this guy was very egotistical, and it was very obvious that he was in this market for the wrong reasons. It just seemed like a rich boy who was like, oh, I don't want to work for anybody, so I'm going to start my own company, and I'm going to make it a VTubing company so I can be around cute girls all the time. Which is kind of messed up. And before you say that, hey, aren't you speculating? No, like if you read any of the testimonies, like he would make the girls play games with him, always be on voice call with him. Yeah, that's not a serious dude. That's not a guy who wants to run a successful business. That's a guy who thinks that, oh, if these girls have pretty models, they'll get success instantly, my company will soar, and I'll be around cute people all the time. And God, it feels so weird to be name dropping, but I am going to name drop because this is such a conversation. But like even as recently as yesterday, I was on Twitter. Yes, I don't post there, but I do scroll through Twitter. I saw an announcement from a new company about debuts. They were debuting their first wave, which has around 27 freaking members. And okay, you know what? 27 members, fine. Niji Sanji does way more. But 27 members, all debuting on the same day, each having 30-minute streams. That itself is kind of like, also, if you hear a weird sound, that's just my AC. I'm so sorry about that, but it's fucking hot. I don't want to die. So yeah, anyways. So 27 members debuting in one day is weird in itself. But then it gets even weirder. Like you'll be like, how could it get worse? But it does. They all aren't debuting on YouTube or Twitch. No, they are having their debut stream on a third-party app that's not even available on the App Store. Like if you want to watch their debut, you need to fill out a Google form. Okay, I mean, this is what I remember. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, feel free to correct me. But yeah, you need to fill out a Google form. Then you have to wait for a link on a particular day at a particular time in a particular time zone. Once you have the link, then you can get the app, and then you can watch all the VTuber debuts. And this is coming from a company, it's not coming from a company like Niji Sanji or Hololive that already have a very, very strong fan base. No, this is coming from a company that has just started out. So they don't have a fan base. They're just expecting people to download this obscure app, and apparently that app is not even available to iOS users. It's only available to Android, or it's the other way around. Like only one of those gets to get the app. So you can already see this is going to be a train wreck. I'm laughing, but it's also I feel so bad for these talents, because obviously this is going to be a train wreck. There is just no way that this is anything but a train wreck. But that's not even the worst thing. It gets weirder. The 27 debuts plus the obscure app aren't the weirdest thing. No, the weirdest thing is the CEO of the company fighting with people on twitter.com like he is a child. And his all his comebacks are like, oh, you don't like my business model? Well, where's your? Huh? I rock, you suck. Haha. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, if I was debuting for them, I would just be appalled. I'd just be like, bro, please just shut up. Because I think a lot of these CEOs do not realize that when you're running a company, even if that company is creating anime models for people to pretend to be anime characters, even if that is the company, you still have to have a degree of professionalism. You have to mind the way you talk to people, because these are your potential customers, right? This is your potential audience. And it's like, you're fighting with them? You think that's gonna help? Like, in my opinion, the smarter thing to do would be to just shut the fuck up, go through with the plan if you're so confident in it. Maybe it works out, what do I know? Maybe it works out, but you would go through the plan, you would see it succeed, and just by finding success, you're showing people who doubted you that they were wrong. You don't need to fight people like a 5-year-old on twitter.com, but you're doing that, and you're making more people more suspicious about you and your company. So yeah, a lot of these people lack so much like professionalism, and they're basically harming their talents, right? They're harming their talents in the long run, because now people are going to be very very like, no thank you about the whole thing. How do these talents find success then? And and you would not believe that it gets weirder. This was the fourth time I've said this, and even I was so shocked. But apparently somebody kind of dug into it, and they found out that this company is not even actually a VTuber company, but it's actually a training academy for VTubers, and all of these 27 members are trainees. But they are encouraged to only stream on that particular app for 2 hours, 5 days a week. And they very much have said that they are only like they are going to be supporting the ones who show the most promise, basically favoritism. Like, it's written in their thing, like, oh, maybe it seems like favoritism, and maybe it is, and you're just like, oh, okay. that sounds fine. And you basically see from these things that these corporations are not your friends. Like, they are not here for you, they don't care about you, which sucks, because I know a lot of people want to be in a corporation because of all the benefits you can get from it. And even if the corporation doesn't have a big like following, a benefit to a corporation is all the support that you can get. You have a manager, a dedicated team taking care of things for you, so you're able to achieve your goals and do the things that you wanted to do. But that's not always the case, because for that to happen, the company has to care about you. And how do you know the company cares about you? Well, you don't, which kind of sucks, because it's like a very should I not take this chance sort of a thing. But in most cases, I'd say don't, especially for some place that has no track record. Like, it might just seems like, oh, this is like, maybe since they are new, I have a easier chance of getting in, but you also have an easier chance of getting fucked over. Like, you look at all the girls from ArcuLive. ArcuLive, what the fuck? I feel so bad for them, like all the struggles they had to go through because of like the CEO and like just the basic mismanagement in general. I feel terrible for them. And that's the thing, right? Even like when it comes to bigger corporations, they don't specifically care about you, whether you are an audience or a VTuber. This is true for any job. The company doesn't care for you. They care about making a profit. That's true for any job. And the VTubing industry is not different in that case. Like, save yourself the trouble of auditioning. Save yourself the trouble of... if you want to audition, go for it. But understand that be careful about it. Like, I think that's what I would say. Be very careful. Do your research about a company. Don't just jump into it thinking that this is how I do it. Like, I have seen things that go on behind the scenes, and you're like, how do you know? I did, like, I didn't do an audition, but I was supposed to be a talent manager, or like I was volunteering as one because the company at that time didn't have any money to pay people. And I was really excited, and I was volunteering, and I just saw all the things that happened behind the scenes, and I realized that a lot of these people just don't know what the fuck they're doing. They like VTubing, and they think that, okay, this is what I want to do. But being a VTuber is very different from being somebody who runs a company, is responsible for employees, is responsible for the company's success. It's very different, and these people do not get that. Be careful. Like, even with companies that are well established, it's not necessary that they're gonna care about you. Like, they don't want to name drop this one, but if you have seen the recent news, you know who I'm talking about. Be careful, man. Seriously, I know I've said be careful multiple times because I cannot drive home the fact that applying for every fucking company is not a good thing. I know being an indie VTuber is hard, but it's better to kind of find your own way than to be trapped in a bad place, in a bad contract, and be in a place where your mental health is all fucked. Because most of these companies are gonna have contracts too. So kind of like look into the pros and cons of it. Like, is this what you want? Like, is this where you want to be? I mean, obviously, like, the first time you see an audition, and if you're auditioning, that's definitely where you want to be. You want to be in a company. But do you want to be in a place where you don't know whether you can trust the people who are running it? Where you don't know whether the CEO is actually somebody who knows what they're doing, or if they're somebody who just fights with people on Twitter, apparently. My god. I have so much to say about that one particular thing, but I'm gonna refrain because this has already gone long enough. And you guys don't want to hear me rant. Unless you do, then tell me, I will rant. And who knows, maybe something else will come out by then, and things will just get weirder. As if it's already not bad enough. But let's be mindful of where we're investing our time, and mindful of who we are placing our hopes in. Yeah, that's basically the message here. Be mindful. Learn. Literally learn, please. I mean, I know following drama tubers is like VTubers who report on stuff that's happening in the community is like, oh my god, you're just stirring up drama. But you get to know so much shit that's going on, especially when it comes to companies. I mean, you can say that, oh, they don't know what they're talking about, but dude, that whole ArcUR thing, people wouldn't have known. The whole thing with, what's that? Aurora Live. That company, they recently opened auditions, by the way, I think. The whole thing with you know who. Not dropping that name, my god, that company and its fans scare me so much. Like, no. But yeah, just be informed, do your research, make sure that you aren't signing into a contract that you're gonna regret later. I mean, I know, of course, that getting a lawyer is a possibility for everybody, especially like when you pass an audition, there's definitely going to be a contract if it's a legitimate cooperation, by the way. And you may not understand everything in that contract, so it's always nice to have other people read it for you. People you trust, people who know what they're doing, and not just one other person but multiple other people, so you're not signing into something that's messy. And if a company goes like, oh, you only have like 10 minutes to sign the contract, or withdraw, we won't take you, then run. What are you doing? Why would you go to a place that won't even give you time to review the contract they've given you? That means there's something wrong with that contract. So yeah, be careful, take advice and just don't sign into a contract that you don't understand or you don't agree with. Yeah, that's my message for today. I'm done with my skincare. Yeah, let's see. Skincare wise, oh god, I messed up so bad. I ended up irritating my skin with all my retinol and exfoliating toner use. So like yesterday, like my skin started like kind of breaking out near my nose specifically. So today I've just not used anything with any kind of exfoliating ingredient like salicylic acid or glycolic acid or retinol for that matter. Instead, I went in with the L'Occitane Proactive Skincare Essential Water. This is good for hydration apparently. So I used that first as a toner. On top of that, I used this calming serum from Beauty of Joseon. It's green tea and panthenol. God, it's actually so calming because like my nose area, like around my nose, it was kind of burning. I applied it and it's just like calm down. Thank you so much, Beauty of Joseon. Then I had this sample from Laneige for their hyaluronic serum, so I just ended up using that. On top of that, I did use my water bank a little bit, not too much. Kind of regretting that now because my face kind of feels warm after using that, so I might just go in and wash my face again, remove it all, and just not use this. And then I use my Clinique Moisture Surge Intense. I actually don't care for this moisturizer as much because it feels very heavy on my skin, especially in summers. But after I applied it, like right now, when on my irritated skin, it did help like calm it down quite a bit. At least it feels calm. So yeah, these are the products I use, and obviously I use my usual eye cream from Silvaso. Be careful out there, kids, with your VTubing career and also with your skincare. Don't irritate your skin. Anyways, bye.